Time to try and save it. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're going to try and save this Sharp VC581H VHS, of course, and you'll remember that we used this to, we tried to get it going, and things did not end well. We had problems with the mode switch, and the caps and flywheels so rotten. Anyway, I stole the Texas Instruments timer chip, put it in the VC5M6, and that's working. And other than a few other bits and pieces, that machine should be good to go. But I want to get this going, and I did have a comment. Somebody mentioned that I didn't seem terribly enthusiastic in getting this going, and you're sort of right to say that, because I was so disappointed that this got damaged. The original listing had it looking pretty good, and it got smashed in transit, and it always saddens me when that happens. So we're going to try and get this going. I do actually have another VC-581H on the way, bought off eBay, another really cheap machine. It's in much worse cosmetic condition than this, but I'm hoping that the flywheel will be better, and we can take the chip from that. We'll use it as a spares machine basically, and yeah. But I've managed to find the bits of hinges and also this weird bit of plastic. Now this is all in the box it was packed in, and yeah, I mean this actually flew out across the room. This one I actually found in the box when I was sort of packing it down for recycling. We need to fix this play button. And I don't really quite make out, but there's some marks here and here, and I think that's where the adhesive has started to rot. There we go, it's all just going to pop off. So that's going to be my first thing to do. You can, somebody super glued it previously. Okay, well, it's going to be super glued again. But we'll give it a clean up, and yeah, try and get this a little bit better. Just try and get this so super glue will actually properly adhere to it, because there's all sorts of mess on there. And yeah, and take it from there. So let's crack on. So let's get this door off, and it's only held on with one hinge. So looking at this, we've got some issues. Okay, well, I might have to do some magic there. See what I can do. Oh, that's gone really bad. That also looks pretty good until it flapped over. So it might be a bit sloppy, but they're good. It's a couple of days on, and I was a bit daft, to be honest, to even think about doing anything with this. I mean, it is pretty ropey, to be fair, and I'm going to struggle to really make that nice again, especially as it's sort of taken away some of the text. But as promised, we have another one, and this one, I mean, the front is trying to come off. Oh, I can actually lift it, but yeah, you can see the front is trying to come off, but it is complete and it's not been glued, so possibly with a little bit of heat I can remove that, or just use some sticky back and stick it back down, which is probably what I'm going to do, to be fair. So this machine, similar sort of money, wasn't a lot. It does have the decal there for the 9-function remote, which is of course wired. It's missing the plastic cover legend for the section there, but I have that, so I can probably remove that quite easily because the glue seems to be pretty poor, to be fair, in this day and age. And yeah, the plastic, that bit of plastic, that actually comes off the back here, so you'll see on this one where it is, and then where it isn't on that one. So yeah, this one would have been quite nice because it's still got some of the plastic, protective plastic on it, but it's had quite a ding on the top. And the sticker, I remember this, these stickers weren't always put on that well, and you can see where the muck's got in underneath it. Whether I can remove that one and put it on there, or do I just not bother? I mean, it'd be quite nice to transfer it, but I think that's going to be near on impossible. So let's take this one apart, have a look at it. I'm hoping the mode switch is okay, so I'm going to take the bottom off first, have a look at that. Obviously, if I can use this front cover, I mean the buttons are really yellowed compared to this one, so I can transfer those over. So top's off, and it's considerably dustier than the other one, but that's not really a problem. And it has been in the damp. Original heads, you can see by the solder there, but it is unlaced, which is brilliant. So we're timed. So I suppose the next thing is to take the bottom off and let's have a look. Well, that's a lot better. The capstan isn't rotten, isn't rusty, and the belt's still on it, and it still revolves. I mean, it's going to be pretty bad, to be fair. Mode switch, oh, there's a really great big hair in there. Let's get rid of that. Mode switch looks good. So I've put a score line there, but I thought I'd just try this screw because it was seized on the other one, and I know even back in the day I had seized screws, and this one actually comes out no problem at all. I'd like to see the other one at least work, so let's have a look at this mode switch. Right, so that's the position. That's really interesting. So timing hole there, timing hole there. What do they relate to? So they don't make it easy, do they? There is a crack in it. So I'm tempted to put maybe just a spot of glue on it, just to keep it solid. It's just like, what do you do, isn't it, really? Yeah, it's very much a case of guesswork, really. And there's nothing in the manual that I can see anyway, which is a bit annoying. Again, I might be missing something, probably am, but yeah, I'm going to put some glue on there anyway, just to keep it solid, and let's crack on. So here goes, totally as is. I haven't got the connector for the audio, but we can see the video at least. So yeah, let's power it on, see what happens. Oh, okay. Bit of a shuffle from the deck. VFD's on. Okay, so it's not lacing. Now the slight problem is that because of me, or is that because of another fault? Maybe I did that the wrong way. Maybe I should have tried it first and then looked at the mode switch. Well, live and learn, I suppose. Incidentally, found this on the bottom, which is quite cool. £389. I'm guessing that's the new price. Maybe. And date code C5. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that one. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, tapes. When trees stuck in there. I'm gonna have to do this manually, I think, and yeah, because if I press eject, nothing happens. So yeah. So the glue's dried on the other one, so time to swap them over. And like I said, I'm going to desolder them. Iron's just got up to temperature. So yellow one is to the inside. Okay, so here goes. On. Obviously, we're not going to get anything. Oh, okay, that's a good start. But obviously, the clock's not going to light because we haven't got the chip. So this, because it has a tab out, it should just go to play. Well, it's doing stuff. So everything's stripped out. It actually didn't take that long, to be fair. I tried not to cut too many of the cable ties as well. Just trying to keep it as tidy as possible when I do the transfer. I'll clean this up. I'll give this a wash actually, and then properly dry it so there's no marks or anything. I've left the clock board on. I'm not going to change the chip. I'm just going to literally change the panel, which should be absolutely fine. I think the VFD is pretty good. So yeah, obviously take that out before I wash it. And the tape counter, that does some clips, so that's fine. So we'll transfer everything over. I've been running this for a while, and it's still got weird and wonderful issues, which slightly concerns me. I don't know what's going on with it, but let's just get everything transferred over, get the front cover, the front panel sorted as well. So I've got those over there. Just make it into one half decent machine. I'm going to go, because I was contemplating using this power supply, but even though this looks a little bit more cooked, overall it's just tidier. So yeah, I'm not too worried about capacitors, to be fair. Not yet anyway, we'll see. But yeah, let's crack on. All good fun. just packing up for the night, and I did forget this bit. This is from the other machine, so I've put that in down there, which you can't really see, and also found the screw for the grounding strap. Would have been fine on that screw, but yeah, they obviously want you to keep this grounded if you do take the chassis out, so that's fine. It's as it was. Otherwise, I think we're pretty much tidy to go, and yeah, I'm still not terribly pleased with that front connector, but I don't know. Will I change it? We'll see. They're just pins at the end of the day. As long as they make a good contact, I don't care. But yeah, let's crack on. So here it goes, and I'm going to use the Anker power bank to power it, and we also have our super huge widescreen TV ready to go. So fingers crossed. We have life, that's good. So I should be able to just push in the cassette, I think, and power it on. Is it? Oh. It sounded like that idler is not happy. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at that idler, and then we might be able to actually play a cassette on it. So yeah, let's crack on. I forgot to plug in that connector. So I always miss this connector out, this little tiny one that goes here, and this is obviously quite important when it comes to actually controlling the tape functions. So it is playing. At the moment I'm getting quite a lot of noise, quite a lot of dirt. I don't recollect actually cleaning the tape path on this, so that needs to happen. But it is working. Can I get a still? So yeah, I can get a still, which is good. Slight problem. Oh, it's only in black and white, which is not ideal. So I'll have to investigate why that is. So we have lots to do to get this somewhere near working. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start easy and work my way up. So yeah, that's the remote, and I'm going to change the rather mangled stereo jack for a proper mono jack, which is what it should be. What they did do is actually solder this part to ground as well, so these two bits basically have made it into a mono jack. So yeah, let's crack on. So I'm going to change the connector as well, change the chip, much better VFD from what I remember, and yeah, we should be good to go. And there's our glorious Texas Instruments chip, which doesn't exist apparently. So yeah, let's get that desoldered. Hopefully we have a good panel now. Socket replaced, chip replaced into the original panel. So the original panel to this machine is going back in. I need to take out these cable management bits because we left them on here. Anyone would think I'd done a C9 SS11 panel, but recently. So the next thing we need to do is this plug and socket here. The socket, I managed to break the plastic lug off with sort of swiveling the bottom board round. So I'm tempted to actually change this. I think we are ready to give this a try. But I'm just going to run through everything we've done. So, no particular order. New plug on the remote, and I've swapped the panel over from the panel I borrowed from the other really sort of not great machine, back to the original one and swap the chip over. So that seemed to be the easiest way to get out the VFD. And yeah, because it can be a bit of a fiddle, the VFDs. I don't know, but the buttons I know are good on this board, so that's cool. I fixed the socket, or replaced the bottom part of the socket from the other board, so that's done, and obviously done all the joints. I've put a tiny bit of grease on the movement for the idler, bit out of focus, but on the idler, so hopefully that'll move a bit better, and cleaned it up. So yes, I think we are about ready to give it a try. And and I did actually change that bit of plastic as well, because it just looked a bit burnt and horrible. So let's power it on. Okay, so that's a good start. Displays so much bright on this. Power it on. So I've got a little TV all set up again, all plugged in. So you see, it's just not happy. It just doesn't start the heads until until it's laced. So yeah, that's definitely mode switch. I could try maybe taking it apart, but I did put glue on it, so that's going to be a bit tricky. I could try just infusing it with some deoxit and see what happens, which might not be a bad idea. So I think that's going to be my next thing to try. Let's crack on. Okay, I'm going to have to either find some instructions, get a new mode switch. I don't think it is the mode switch, but I'd like to change it anyway because it has got that cracked plastic. But I need to find some instructions on how on earth you time this deck, and I just can't believe the service manual doesn't have that in. So yeah, let's crack on. Taking the top off the old mode switch, and you can see the planet gear there, and then the actual wiping mechanism there, and then the shaft which is driving it. Okay, so let's test this. It's quite difficult to do, and what I've done is I've soldered some wires on and connected those to I just wrap the wires around the probes, to be honest. So that's cool. So as I turn this, I should start seeing, well, I should first of all get a dead short. So I do. Now, what's in the manual, you think that the switches are all in the order, so they increase as you turn it. That's not the case. So let's turn this round a bit further. So we should get open circuit eventually. So 7.4. So that's the 2.7 and the 4.7 resistors. The RR switch is closed, so those two resistors together, and then should go open circuits, and we should then get something else in a second. 2.7, so that's the VS switch, and then 22.42, and then short. So that switch is working now. Yeah, so that's in the ident. There's that tooth. That tooth is there, straight down. So that is perfect. That is actually pretty perfect. So I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll stick it in the machine and see if it works. It is now 1:15 in the morning, so I'm going to leave this overnight, and yeah, we'll give it a try. Let's crack on. So it's a few days on, and I'm going to swap these over. So hopefully this will do the trick. And but I have actually ordered a few of these from Wes in Australia. Set up an account, all good. So hopefully they'll be here in the next few days. But in the meantime, I want to try this, and I think this will work. But that's famous last words. So already taken the circlip off, E-clip off the gear there, so I can align it. Well, I've waited for the iron to warm up. I'm just going to swap the wires over again. So black closest to the front, and we'll get it swapped over, get it lined up, and job hopefully will be a good one. Let's crack on. Let's give it a try. This will be fun. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to plug this in as well. Let's just add even more to the mix. So it's set itself up. So let's just see what it does. Yeah, it's the same. Well, I won't pick up the dead spots then as it goes between switching points necessarily, but it is just constant 5 volts when it 5 point whatever it is, 5.738 volts. So that to me suggests that the mode switch is still playing up, even though it tested all right on resistance. So happy days. Anyway, Wes is on the case. Let's crack on. Quite a few days on, and I have some mode switches. I actually have 4. So, and they're genuine Sharp mode switches. VC-581H, R0014GEZZ. So yeah, I mean that's brilliant, and they do actually look really good as well, i.e. they've been well stored. I mean obviously they're new old stock, but yeah, they look great. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do it the proper way. I'm going to change the mode switch the proper way. So let's crack on. Okay, so let's power it on, see what happens. Oh, it didn't do anything. What? Oh no. Okay. So I don't know whether that sounded better or not, but anyway, we'll soon find out. No. Still got the same problem. So that other mode switch was fine. A bit of a realisation. Looking at this last night, and really I've done this the wrong way round, and I've been, I suppose you could argue, a bit too passionate. Looking at this machine is what looks the tidiest. So obviously we've changed everything out and put it into a decent chassis from the original 581 that I bought.
But looking at this is really high hours. There's a lot of wear. I mean, it doesn't really come out very well on the camera, but I mean, it's shiny at the bottom edge, and you can see where the tape leaves the tape path there to go around the guide. I mean, it's mirrored. It's really shiny. Obviously, we've got the colour issue as well, and these weird logic issues. And I just think it's just really tired. But looking at this deck, this is a heck of a lot better. In fact, there is no wear at all. This machine seems really low hours. So what I'm tempted to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put a mode switch on this deck. I'll leave the one on there for now. We'll do it the way I think Sharp want you to do it, and then we'll transfer everything over. So last night I cleaned up the other panel as well, so we'll swap that over. It might have been very, very dusty, but it's actually in really good condition. It's absolutely great. So even washed the plastic cover, so that's all good. Change the idler tyre. I'll just take that off this deck, put it on that one, and hopefully we will have a half decent machine. Obviously going to have to change the socket back over. The socket on the back there is actually exactly the same for the tuner board, so that's a 6-pin direct plug-in plug. So yeah, let's crack on. So first of all, let's just move that out of the way. Let's have a look at this mode switch. So I did actually on this caught it on the carpet and bent that back, so I'll have to swap that over. That's fine. But mode switch. Obviously I stole the mode switch off this to get the other one going, so let's sort that out. Just realised I was going to put the old one back in, so I might as well put a new one in. I've got a few to go out.
So I've noticed that was poking up, which is not good. So I didn't film it, but I have just lubricated the spools and also the counter roller there. Just a tiny bit of lubrication, and cleaned it up, and cleaned the deck a bit more as well. So we are sort of almost in a position to get this going. I'm going to put some graphite grease on the lacing part of the mechanism there as well, which it certainly does need grease a few other places. But what I am going to do is I'm actually going to remove the idler, because I want to give it a jolly good clean, and I also want to properly assess the tyre, because it's going to need a new, well, really it should have a new idler, but yeah, I'm going to assess the tyre, see what we can do. So to get the idler out, you need to drop the motor. So hopefully I can, these screws can be a pain. Yeah, that one's come undone. I remember before now, it's very easy to damage the head on these. And there we go. Let's drop the motor down. And then the idler, let's lift this up a bit. The idler should just come undone, come away. There we go. Super, so I'll give this a bit of a clean, and we'll take it from there. Idler's all sorted out, took the old tyre off, put a new one on, and I was lucky enough to find these, which I think we use one of these for the VC5M6, but yeah, SEME tyre 218. So they're the ones for these idlers when you don't want to change the whole idler. So let's get this back in. I've put a little bit of grease there as well. Super. And then it's a little bit tricky, I seem to remember, because you sort of have to lift the motor up and put the screw in, and yeah, but we'll sort it, no doubt. And just move that up a little bit, so it's somewhere near where it needs to be, and then lift the deck slightly and get the motor into position. And get the spring on. There we go. It's quite difficult to do it without overstretching it, but that looks really good. Yeah, and that's starting to really slide as well, which is nice. Excellent. Lovely. Change the pinch roller. So I've lubricated and cleaned the front loading system as well, so get that put on. Super, so I think we are about ready to give it a try. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Those cables there, I'm not sure they actually do route over the top, but I've routed them over the top. I think they actually did go down and under the deck, but I don't see any reason why that's not fine. So I'm happy with that, happy to leave those like that. I've greased underneath as well. I do need to put some graphite grease on there, so I'll do that before I turn it on, but won't bother showing that. Yeah, I think we are good. Incidentally, I did change the mains cable. There was a little nick in the cable, and it was just starting to sort of break away and sort of go through to the brown wire, I think it was. Underneath, so I just thought, right, well, I've got a good one, I'll just change it over, and it's so easy. It's just a plug, so just unplug it, pull out the cable grip, and away you go. So yeah, anyway, let's crack on. So let's try and see if my hard work has paid off. I have a feeling it's still going to be giving me lots of problems, but anyway, it just seems to be the way things are going at the moment. Seem to have little peaks and troughs sometimes. But anyway, let's power it on and give it a test. Okay, super. So far so good. Oh, well, it's not done any sort of self-test. I don't know whether it's good or bad. Heads are spun up. Yeah. Oh, it works, but we've got take-up problems. Yeah, so that's actually working. It's doing this thing where So well, I have no buttons. Did I miss out the... No, connector's on. Everything's on. Everything is plugged in. I just have no buttons again. Yeah, that's a bit difficult to do when it's like that. There we go. It's tuner. Yeah, so tuner is okay. So we've got some connectivity. So just unplug it and plug it back in. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Does it help if I turn it on? No, I've got no panel operation. Let's see if this will work. I found the break in the cable on this, incidentally. It's right in the middle. But I've got nothing there. So I've got no panel operation again. Okay, I will investigate and we'll take it from there. But I mean, you didn't see it, but unfortunately, I do actually have a colour picture, good colour picture with sound. So yeah, let's crack on. So I've done some checks, and I think the problem's actually on this panel. This connector is basically the matrix, the key matrix, and I think there's something not quite right going on there. It's just weird getting this panel lock out. So I've got the other panel. So this machine is essentially the second machine now, completely, apart from the power supply. Luckily the power supply is really good. Famous last words, but yeah, the power supply is really good, so I'm happy to stick with that. But gosh, blimey, I've changed everything. The connector there, incidentally, the one I was sort of stressing about because I broke the one pin, one bit of plastic and bent pins. This actually doesn't do anything other than it's got a ground on it. So yeah, it's literally just used as a locator. It's all on these pins here. I think are just for channels, and then this is for the functions. So I don't know. Anyway, let's plug it in and turn it on. Can I turn it on? Yes, eventually. I've still got nothing. It's not something on the clock board, is it? Good, yeah, because this board is from the first machine, mainly because the VFD was better. But well, I've got nothing. Am I missing something? I don't think so. I don't think I've got problems with the light falling on the sensors. I suppose we could test that. And oh, I don't know. Yeah, so that's blocked out now. Let's try turning it off, on again. I'm going to have to try and find some way of finding out how to time this thing, because there's nothing in the manual. And, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I've done it right. But, obviously, that's not right. Okay, one thing I did wonder, I've got on here the bit of metal that wraps round. I think it was grounding that diode. So I don't know whether that's actually causing problems, whether that could actually blow the processor maybe, I don't know. It just seems a bit weird, but yeah, because it gets really, really close to both those diodes. And I think it's been sorting those out. So I just wonder if maybe that's what's caused it. That actually goes to that pin on that connector. Pin 2. Those diodes. So, I don't know. I'll have to have a look at the manual and just see what the potential issues with that shorting to ground would be. But I'm not liking that at all. Okay, I'll do some more investigation and report back. Right, I've got it sorted, and yeah, I wasn't too far out with it, but I was also quite a long way out with it. The manual that comes for this is near on useless for doing the mode switch. I mean, it's just not in there. And I noticed there was some text that said that the manual, the service manual, is for the field service engineer, and omits complex procedures, one of which is changing the mode switch, because ideally you've got to take the deck out of the machine to do it. But after a lot of searching, downloading manuals, just trying to find one, I couldn't find like a full service manual. I actually found one for the VC5F3, and that has the single page that you need to set the mode switch correctly. Now, a couple of things to note. I will put a link to this manual, but yeah, so I got this right. That was 100% right. I wasn't even timing that one, and then I realised I probably should. I was doing it to the dot, because that arrow there is really, really faint. And what I've done, get some focus, is I've actually put just a little bit of black Sharpie on the raised section of the arrow. So that is actually pointing, the tooth is in, it looks as if it's slightly out because of the angle, but the arrow is pointing to that. It's on to the right tooth, and that tooth goes to that dot. So yeah, as shown there. So that is correct. The other thing that's really important is you've got to move this 90 degrees or more from this position. Otherwise, you're in trouble. It won't. I think that's what's causing the panel lockouts. So yeah, until the alignment hole 4 is positioned more than 90 degrees away. So position 4, and I'm going to put it basically up to here, so that's more than 90 degrees. So I shall do that, then I'll put the clip on. It says about also not doing it this way, actually using the helix screw for the loading motor, which of course is a real pain in the machine. You've got to take the deck out. It doesn't say that, but you've got to take the deck out really to do it properly the way they want you to do it. Take the deck out. So okay, I'm gonna just wind this round, and then we'll flip it over, and I just hope it works now. Let's crack on. So yeah, just positioned it around about that position there. It's more than 90 degrees, so we're all good. Clips back on, everything's hunky-dory. So here we go. So power it on. Turn it on. I'm still a bit concerned that it's not. Still nothing. What is going on? That is 100% correct now. I just don't understand what's stopping this from working. I might have to do some more research on this. I mean, I do wonder if it's because the cassette's in. That maybe it's remembering an error. The only thing is, of course, I've damaged. Well, the tape's all spilled out. So, but anyway, well, it's not a sentimental cassette, that's for sure. So, let's just wind this out. Don't really want to get it in the grease, because there's quite a bit of grease there. Until it's laced a couple of times, it's going to be a bit greasy. Even with a bad cassette, that's depressing. Or a cassette that I don't care about. Okay, let's try it. turn it on. Oh, that came straight on. So I'm gonna, just so you can see it run as well. Yeah, it's still not. So we've still got idler problems. And then it just locks out. It's not until you get the cassette out that you can, yeah, okay, so it's when you get an error with the deck, it locks the whole thing out. So it must have some sort of like static RAM that once it's errored, that's it. What a pain. But I don't understand why the idler is not performing, because it's moving beautifully, it's all fine. I do wonder what would have happened if I'd pressed eject, but I don't really want to press eject because it's going to be really violent on the tape. But I mean, that's encouraging, I think. It's just really what's going on with the so push it in. Stop! Stop! Oh, just let me press stop. Let's see what happens when I press eject. Nothing. Well, what slightly stupid logic that is. I mean, I'm assuming that's correct, but what stupid logic? I mean, are you supposed to, like, because this tape's so damaged, what I'm going to do, yeah, I was going to say, are you supposed to just like call a service engineer every time a tape gets a little bit weird? Let's put yeah, it's one of those machines. I'm sure they're great when they're reliable, but right. I don't understand it. And then it won't come on. Right, so it has to be power cycled when it's on with the cassette out. I assume that clears the code. I don't know. There's not much information at all. So let's pull that, plug it back in. Comes on straight away. Push this in. Fast forward. Rewind. Why have I got nothing? Why have I got nothing? So yeah, I've got more things going on with this. Oh, but I mean, the panel's fine. But why is it not? And now I press eject. I don't know. Right, I think I just need to go through everything again, make sure everything's okay, and then we need to do some checks on the processor and to see what's going on there. Oh, this machine! I'm so determined to get it going, but there's a part of me that just wants to give up. I mean, yeah. Just wonder why I'm now not getting any real motor, because it was trying to run and now it's not doing anything. Well, I say it's trying to run. If I pulled a wire off or something, because I'm assuming because really that motor's not in the right place. Oh no, it is. It is. Just wonder if it's worth just measuring a voltage on that motor, because I think the motor I'm hearing, I'm assuming it's the real motor, but I think it might actually be the capstan motor, and I wonder if the real motor's not running. We've got a real motor problem. That would do it. That makes more sense. I seem to remember reading, I've never had one myself, but reading that these real motors weren't always that reliable. I have another one, so it's fine. So what I'll do is I'll get it to go into play, and I'm going to damage the cassette again. Let's pull the power, put the power back on. The tape wasn't in properly, and it decided it was going to take the tape in. Okay, let's try it. It's not. Oh, there we go. Right, it's locked up straight away. It's just checked. Oh, I think this motor's gone. It's got a dead spot on it. And that's giving the panel lockout. Right. Yeah, I would say that's got a dead spot on it. Can I... don't know whether I can move it using the idler from the bottom. I mean, it could have been just because I cleaned it that it's gone. let's plug it in, because we should see a voltage when it does a self-test. Yes, it's trying to run the motor, and then it goes forwards, backwards, and then gives up. Right, so we've got a bad motor. Fantastic. Okay, so in other news, now again I'll put a picture of this up. The remote, it's not a mono jack, it's actually a stereo jack, and it uses the first and second bits, and then the third is ground. So yeah, I've got some stereo jacks on the way to stereo plugs to replace this one, and we'll wire it up properly. But yeah, I stumbled across that in the manual, so yeah, it's sort of just learning the finer points of a different manufacturer's way of doing things, and I've learned a lot. I mean, I'll be able to do Sharp machines now with quite a bit more confidence. Like I said, I didn't see many of them, so it's actually quite cool. You know, I mainly saw like Panasonic and Philips machines, and then of course Seisho and Matsui and all those sort of, you know, cheap and cheerful machines. We're gonna have to take front loading system off and do all of that, but yeah, let's crack on. So hopefully I've edited it out, but trying to get this motor back in position, I just could not get it in position. It was just really took me ages. I don't know what was going on there, but anyway, it's in. There is a little plus there on the card denoting where the red goes, but I took a photo just to be on the safe side. And yeah, it's all back together. So I suppose we ought to give it a try. Let's crack on. So here goes. And turn it on. And I just realised I've never tested this actual physical deck, because I just literally just essentially scrapped it. Well, it is working. It's just not pulling the tape very well. Yeah, it's going to need just a little bit working in now. And of course, there's every chance I might have got a tiny bit of grease on the. There we go. You can see it's just a little bit clunky on the take up, but that's really, really good. I think that's tracking. No, that's sharpness. That's tracking. Furthest right, furthest left. Gosh, this is a good machine. It's great heads, great heads. So that's another Sharp with good heads after that VC5M6. Yeah, that's brilliant. So what I need to do now, I'm going to run it for a bit, just get everything moving again and working as it should. I'll see how I get on with that idler, but take up seems good, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'll put it back together and take it from there. Then the only thing I've got to do then is sort out the remote control. So yeah, I've got parts coming for that hopefully today, I think, so I should be able to get that sorted as well, and we'll have a fully working machine, maybe Let's crack on. It's been playing for half an hour now, working absolutely perfectly. Really, really pleased. Picture is really, really good. I'm very impressed. I've also liberated parts off the other deck. Like I say, that other deck is very worn. Well, I've got the head drum. So you can see there the wear at the bottom of the tape path there, and those heads are quite low. Might be worth sticking on the meter just for laughs, so we'll do that. The motor, now I'm just going to apply 6 volts to it. And no movement at all. Let's give it a kick. And it revolves, but it's very clunky. So I'm not too sure what's actually broken in there, but it's not happy. I thought when I was cleaning it, it didn't feel right. Yeah, that's toast, so that's good. So yeah, I'm going to run it a bit more. Hopefully the bits for the remote will arrive, and we can finally get it all back up and running properly as a complete unit with everything done. So yeah, let's crack on. Thought it might be fun to test the heads from the other deck, the heavily worn one, just to see how bad they are. This does go a bit weird, this meter, when it's off, so let's turn it on. Well, they're not terrible at all. They're usable heads, so I mean, I'll keep the drum. I mean, the heads must be pretty tough, because I think the heads have done better than the drum. But yeah, they're testing okay. Excellent. So just testing the heads on the other machine. They're almost brand new. That's amazing. So yeah, that's excellent. So yeah, let's crack on. It's a really nice machine, this. So the next thing I'd like to get going, and I'm not going to spend too long on this, is the remote control. And yeah, just think that if I can wire this up correctly, after discovering that it actually uses a stereo jack, which I did actually buy some metallized ones, which I can't open. Good grief, what do they do to that? There we go. So I bought some of these, and basically it's a twin core, and they need to go to that one and that one. So white to that one, and then screen to that one. What I've done, so I thought I'll do that and just use the cable, but the cable is quite short. I bought this lead, this is, I think it's 3 meters. 3 meters, might be 5 meters, it's long. So, and it's probably not the greatest quality in the world. But what I liked about it is it had a very narrow barrel, so it'll fit quite nicely in there. And I'll just cut the other end off. So let's see how bad this is. Yeah, you're never too sure what you're getting when you're buying these leads. But I'm sure I saw it in the listing for it on, it's just bought from Amazon, that had, yeah, it does have individual cores. I don't remember them looking quite like that on the picture. But that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to strip these down. I won't show that. I'll just strip these down, work out which is which, and then yeah, we'll solder it all on and give it a try. So all done. I actually forgot to put this bit on, and I thought, well, it's actually pretty mangled, and also this cable is slightly thicker, so it would have caused potentially some issues. So I just thought, nah, just leave it. It's fine. It's well in there, so that's cool. So let's plug it in and play, pause. I don't know what happens if you press record. Yeah, because the light protect's out. I should eject it. Yeah. Perfect. So the remote works as well. We've done it. Everything is working. And, yeah. I mean, my goodness. What a pain. So how cool is that? I'm really chuffed with that. That's so good. What a great machine. It's been on pretty much, gosh, it's probably been on about 8 hours playing tapes, and it's not missed a beat. It's been absolutely reliable, fantastic. Obviously we've got those great heads on it as well. Case is cleaned up pretty nicely. There's one or two little marks and scratches which might actually polish out, to be honest. I've only cleaned it up, I've not polished it yet. So obviously glued this, well, I had to sort out this front portion. Obviously made one front out of two. Door is fine because the other door got smashed on the nicer looking machine, but this door is great. So yeah, that's all good. Went with the front from the nicer machine, and this from the other machine, I seem to remember. It's been a long while, and yeah, it probably has been for you too. It's been a long video. Remote control, that works. So review. Really nice. So yeah, really very, very chuffed. Apart from these little marks, you know, where it was glued, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really pleased with it. And I've got a few spares now for Sharps as well, because obviously, well, I could only save one, unfortunately. But those spares will go to hopefully save another machine or help with other machines, full stop. So, list of what we did. Bought the first machine. Obviously we took the clock chip, the Texas Instruments clock chip, which is independent from any other functions. It's literally for the clock. Dry the VFD, because it had failed on our VC5M6. Then I sort of felt sad about this, and somebody commented about it as well, you know, that I didn't seem very enthusiastic, and it's just like, that machine just felt a bit clapped out, and it was. So I managed to find another one on eBay, which looked really rough, and it's full of dust, and just, yeah, quite a mess. Had to change the chassis from that messy one over to the good one, because it all got smashed in transit and the deck was hanging. So did that. Then we discovered that actually the lower drum was really bad on the nice looking machine, and so we've ended up swapping everything from the mucky machine back into its own chassis. Different front, new, the clock unit from the other units. So because that had the best VFD, the VFD from the sort of very dusty, mucky unit was quite poor. We've kept the original power supply. That's fine. Replaced a bit of plastic because that had gone really brown. I think the really nice looking machine that was nice and clean was really high hours and was in a cabinet, and that's why it was so clean. So it just hadn't had the dust get to it the same way as I suppose you could say this machine. So yeah, I mean, this machine, all the buttons were yellowed as well, so obviously we've done the buttons, taken the buttons from the other machine, fixed the broken plastics, cleaned them up really nicely, so really pleased with that. So yeah, I'm really very, very chuffed, and I'm sort of annoyed I spent so much time on it, but in my humble opinion, it's well worth it. It's a lovely machine, and it's going to give years of life. We did have that idler problem, where it still wasn't driving. I mean, obviously we had the motor issue with the rough deck. With it had a dead spot, so changed the motor from the high mileage one, and absolutely faultless. But the idler also, it hadn't quite located itself properly, so it was still sort of struggling to take up. And working that a little bit, it clicked. You probably saw that in the video where it sort of clicked in, and sort of went where it was supposed to go, and it's been absolutely fine since. Like I say, it's got auto rewind when it reaches the end, so it's been doing that absolutely fine. It's not missed a beat at all. Used it last night as well, and turned it on this morning, played a tape on it, straight in, no problem. Obviously got the new mode switch, and we know how to set the mode switch on these now, and we also know that we have to take the deck out ideally to do the mode switch, to properly align that up. In fact, you have to take the deck out quite a few bits and pieces, and it is a little bit awkward to work on because that main board comes across here, drop it out. Obviously the capstan flywheel as well on the other machine was really rotten because the belt had rotted in, but obviously this one was fine. It's back in this one from that machine. So yeah, it's really just great. It's also got a few extra screws. So where they've missed screws because they're not really needed, but I've put them in just because it helps keep it nice and solid, and with transport and sending it to the post and all the rest of it, has even more chance of surviving. So this machine is for sale, including its infrared, non-infrared wired remote. And yeah, drop me an email if you're interested. I would love it to find a new home. It's short play only, there's no long play. Everything with it just works beautifully. And like I say, I'm really chuffed with it. So if you want something to play the occasional tape that you buy off eBay, or you know, your own tapes, this is a great machine. Picture quality is really good as well. You won't go far wrong. So yeah, we got there. I think I must be up to 12 hours worth of footage to edit, so I'll crack on with that, and hopefully we'll have some sort of not too long video. But yeah, I'm tempted to chuck a lot of it in because it's learning about another brand. I've got so used to working on Sony stuff, and especially the Sony betas. Toshiba stuff, to a large extent, I'm comfortable. You know, I know all the tricks, or a lot of the tricks with those. These Sharps, I saw so few of them, and thinking on, I don't think I've ever done a mode switch on a Sharp. I think I'm mixing that up with a Mitsubishi that I worked on, or few actually, a couple, that had mode switch issues, and those came with an instruction manual. I seem to remember there was one that came with a modification with some cables and something, I don't know. But yeah, it is like, what, 30-40 years now. So yeah, it's going to be about 40 years. So forgive me for not quite having the clarity of memory there. But I do remember changing a real motor on these, funny enough. So yeah, that's interesting. When I discovered that, it's just like, oh yeah. So yes, although I do have recollection of setting up a mode switch. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But anyway, that's it for this video. We made it. I've learnt a lot about Sharp, and the way they like to do things, and how bizarre they are with their manuals. So with that, thank you very much for watching. A like and subscribe would be absolutely wonderful, and a hype as well. And I think you ought to give yourself a medal for getting this far in the video. So with that, bye for now.